How's everyone doing? Is everyone excited? Is everyone excited in chat today for the final episode of Cape Escape 2?
Welcome to the final session of the season where, like, starting in, like session 2, we were already pretty sure this would be the first season with character death in it.
And exactly...
We got real close.
Exactly 1 year after the end of Cape Escape 1. Don't fact check me. I don't actually know when we ended Cape Escape 1.
It was right before BLFC, I know, and we're up on the next one, so it's close.
It's almost time for BLFC 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, where
they made another one.
Yeah.
I will keep Ka up until 4 a.m. outside of a bowling alley again to talk plans for Cape Escape 3.
I warned Stephanie.
It was a treasure.
I warned Stephanie what you two will do.
It's kind of amazing how much has come together in just, basically just over a year of doing this. I don't want to make this into a pre-show idle banter too much, but just ahead of this finale, I wanted to thank all the fans for watching us live, and of course watching the VODs. We really couldn't do this without all of you. Quite literally, you pay the bills. but also, it's a lot of fun doing this live, and we put a lot of work into it, and we put a lot of pride into it, and we just want to keep doing this. We want to keep doing this for everyone, and being able to do this is so fun. Seeing everyone in the chat as we're like, for the 7 hours leading up to us going live is just awesome. We all just sit here and read it while we wait. We count down the hours.
Taking bets on who dies today.
Yeah. So, in the end, I just want to say thanks, everyone. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy to be here with my 5 amazing co-hosts.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We definitely couldn't do this without you all.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm terrified. Who's gonna live tonight? Who's gonna die? Who's gonna have a fate worse?
You know this. You know
I
the
don't
answer
know
to
this.
These things.
The dice are in charge here, clearly.
Look,
also, if
you know that we're all gonna roll failures and you're gonna roll crit successes, so the narrative decides it.
I know I will roll very well tonight.
I believe in you.
I believe.
We're beyond our boy failure stage.
Boy success stage. Man success.
It's time to become a boy success or a boy legacy.
We're moving on to at least the bare minimum. Not succeeding, but just
coasting.
Enough.
Boy coasting. Ooh.
Boy coasting.
Yeah.
All right.
I should say it up front at the beginning of the last thing so that people are still here listening. But if you like this show, definitely come support it on Patreon. I know people are like, oh, Patreon helps and other shows, but no, this is a channel where each video gets 1,000 or 2,000 views total. So no, all of the money comes from Patreon. The entire show is funded exclusively by Patreon. It actually helps a lot in a way that is more true than normal for YouTubers.
Yes.
And a little bit of fourth wall merch is good too.
Yeah.
Yes. And everyone, the best thing you can do to help the show, if you can't support on Patreon, is talk about it and get your friends to watch it. If you can just post that link in places, talk to people about it, try to get people to onboard on Dead Laws or Cape Escape, that would do us a lot of good. So
rattle your Pop-U-Fur network.
Yeah.
Employ the Welovekah method.
All right. Y'all ready for this?
No.
Good. So let's go ahead and begin. We left off with most of our group ascending high into the watchtower and encountering something from beyond this world. But while they're up there, let's check in on Melvin and Jet back in the infirmary. Now, Jet, you were dealt some grievous wounds by that encounter with Papa Coyote, with Pastor Willis, with your father. And now what remains of him stews away within your husband.
That's a word.
Indeed. The tremendous hands of Melvin Man grip around you tenderly, trying to comfort you as you lay wounded before him, even as his own discomfort mounts. He looks down into your eyes as he recalls fondly, "I always forget how pretty your eyes are."
You don't have to lie to me.
No lie. On God.
What happened? Why am I so itchy?
Oh, don't worry. The bandages they're there for a reason. And as you feel his tears softly dripping down upon you, you also start to feel some wetness at your toes, hanging off the table. Melvin looks down and realizes, "Oh, uh-oh. I think we're flooding."
What the fuck does that mean?
As you look down and look around, you see gentle waves of water starting to pour in from the exit to the infirmary. It must be quite the flood.
I'm so tired.
Meanwhile, up in the watchtower, high above, where the floodwaters have not yet reached, the other 4 members of our little group now stand face to face with the impossible. This tremendous creature that looms over you, hovering in the center of the 9-sided room, raises his hands and speaks at last. And he says, "At last, the jury arrives." And I need everyone there to give me a sanity check. All right, those are all successes. You only take... Ooh, and one last one. Ooh, that one's a failure, unfortunately.
I can spend the 6 luck or whatever.
Yeah, that's only 6 luck. That's pretty close if you want to spend it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
All right. So everyone succeeds and only takes 3 sanity damage.
Oh,
Indeed, so far your successes have only dealt 1 sanity damage, but beholding this abstract concept personified before you breaks your brain a little bit more than the creatures you have seen thus far. Just in time. You've very little left before this place is swallowed into the sea of contempt. He points outside, and beyond the watchtower windows, you can see that the prison is starting to sink into the endless ocean outside.
I think Javier would just ask it directly, realizing that we're short on time. What do you need from us?
I need to provide an answer to the question that was asked when I was bound to this place, when I was called here by the 4.
Four?
The 4?
Indeed. 4 were promised, and 4 have now arrived. Judgment will begin anon. And with a wave of his arm, the limbs collected by the Redeemers manifest around you, constructing a jury box that seats you and traps you in place, surrounding this being. You can give me a intelligence check to try and figure out what he's talking about, or a cult if you have a cult. Intelligence is probably higher for most of you, though.
Yeah, int is higher, but I'm rolling a cult. Can I do 2 luck?
Yeah. So, Keaton, Javi, and Dakota, you get the impression that Papa Coyote and his 3 most loyal henchmen were probably the 4 who were intended to serve the role of jury here. Snapper, you hear something in the back of your mind. It's not a voice so much as it is an ashy rasp, the kindling of flame beginning to burn. You feel immense hatred welling up inside of you towards this being, towards this so-called justice. Whatever it stands for is not justice as you think of it. Once you are seated, the creature speaks once more. I shall account the grudges against those mortals who yet live herein, and pronounce what justice their accusers would afford them. But, as pled, when justice was called for, ye jurors may argue for their redemption.
Who are the accused?
I think Keaton's struggling against the hands that are gripping her, keeping her in place. This has nothing to do with us.
But the jury must be filled, and justice must be served. Now, let us reach the answer. Justice lifts his scales, and a ripple spreads throughout the watchtower around him. Space is warped and time is bendable, cascading throughout the 9-sided room as it unfolds into infinity.
Whoa.
Oh, holy shit.
Another round of sanity checks, please.
Sanity, please.
I'm sure it's nothing.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh.
Listen, people have a lot of sanity.
It's true. We can diminish that a little bit as a treat.
I've had 2 critical successes. Told you
Get
I'd
him out of the way.
Well.
Yeah. All right. That will be a loss of 1 from everyone who succeeded, and a loss of 1d6 from Snapper.
Hey.
Oh, thank
Also
goodness.
1. All right. Now, a very special POW check from Snapper.
I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
I rolled a crit on the intelligence check from earlier. Does that afford any additional information, or is that just flat? That's what
You know what?
That's what
I'll
it is.
say that will give you some additional information. You specifically remember overhearing Papa Coyote talk about this with his 3 closest lieutenants, Michael Moorcock, Lampshade, and Meals. It sounded like some just weird cult bullshit at the time, but apparently they were actually planning to summon an occult entity, sacrifice everyone to it, and ask for redemption.
Ah.
Huh. Looks like they did it. All right.
Can I spend the 7 luck on that?
You absolutely can. Oh, Snapper. You feel a fire inside, welling up as this personification of justice speaks before you and whisks you away to this impossible realm of folding space. Your arm raises, index finger pointed towards him, burning with rage. Your thumb cocks an unseen hammer, but at the last moment you get a hold of yourself, and you realize this is not you. This fire inside is not your will, and you don't have to go through with it.
This isn't right. This isn't right. We gotta know what it's doing. I can't just do something I don't understand.
Take a deep breath, Snapper.
Oh, the ribs still hurt. Oh.
Sorry, too deep. Not too deep.
We shall begin with the least begrudged and climb ever upward. The first accused is Morris Telburn. And I'm sure most of you are looking at him and going, fucking who? But those of you who are prisoners here, give me an education check to see if you've met him.
That boy's got the biggest body count in the Southwest.
Okay, yeah, I don't need.
Javi, you've seen this kid around a couple times. You thought he was here with a Scared Straight program, but it turns out he was a prisoner. He was interred less than a week ago. He's like not even on the prison roster yet. And already the Redeemers got their hooks into him.
God.
So, sucks for him.
Shit, holy shit.
Visions of this boy are spread around you as reality breaks and recomposites into a multitude of different scenes of this boy's life. You see him working at a gas station. You see him being beaten up repeatedly, but always remaining quiet in the face of adversity. You see him being blamed for a crime he did not commit, for a massive theft, and you see him being interred in this prison, ensorcelled into Papa Coyote's gang. Justice speaks once more, and he says, "Not a single soul bears a grudge against him. Few even bother to remember his existence. For this, justice permits absolution. Have the jury any arguments?"
Well, of course not. The kid hasn't done anything wrong.
Is he in this prison? Just let him go.
There's no way that he deserves to be here.
Justice abides. Morris Tettelburn is absolved. The images of the boy fade from view as you continue swirling through the infinite expanse of the watchtower. Benjamin Dover. Hundreds of prisoners begrudge his thuggish coercions. Dozens of lovers past begrudge his aftermath, and one fraternity in blue begrudge his murder in the first degree of a lawkeeper. For this, justice demands his suffering and dissolution. Have the jury any arguments?
What do you mean by dissolution?
The images around you begin swirling into this proposed outcome, and you see the Wolverine you know as Lampshade melting, slowly, painfully, skin sloughing off his body as he begs and pleads for death.
All over Dakota.
Oh yeah, that's probably where it will happen, yes.
This guy's a creep, no matter how many cops he fucking killed. What does it matter? Why does this have anything to do with us?
Why is this up to us?
A proper jury is impartial, after all.
What's the deal with the cop he killed?
You see him getting into a drunken altercation in a back alley with a non-uniformed officer and just ends up stabbing him.
I mean, that's kind of bad, right?
I can't be impartial. He tried to kidnap me. He gave me to that. He wanted to bring me to that cult. He wanted to take my hands.
And as you speak this, images of those events cascade through the watchtower, haunting you.
My head, it hurts.
She's right. It's impossible to be impartial when we were fighting in self-defense to keep this guy away from us.
Then if the jury has no arguments to make...
No one deserves eternal torment and suffering, even if they killed someone.
Give me... What's a good roll for that? I'm gonna have Snapper roll.
ACAB includes the Justice Demon.
All demon lords are bastards.
It's true. Yeah, what role would you use to try and convince him of this, Snapper?
I mean, Snapper's not super convincing. Best is persuasion.
Yeah,
that's
give me persuasion.
Not gonna go well.
ADLB is a really dangerous acronym.
Holy shit!
Indeed. Perhaps a quick and peaceful death would be more suitable for his crimes. Does the jury object?
Go on.
It doesn't sound like we have much of an option in this situation. It's yes or no.
Can Keaton roll willpower right now?
To do what?
She is having an argument with herself in her own head right now.
Ooh, sure. Give me a willpower. I want to see how that turns out. That is very good. Wow.
It was so close to being exactly what it needed to be to fail, which would have also probably been interesting. I think Keaton succeeding in this willpower check, I think she's feeling her rage well up inside her, and something is whispering to her in this moment, in this kaleidoscopic vision, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. Speak up. You want to see him dead. You want to see him drown. Drowning forever wouldn't be enough. People like this, they take control of others. They are here to hurt you. They're here to hurt everyone. But she holds tight, and that voice, the ringing in her ears, the sound of the piercing in her ear jingling, it brings her back. And I think she relaxes for a moment and says, "No objections."
Then the sentence of Benjamin Dova shall be carried out. And with that, Lampshade passes peacefully aboard Dakota.
I don't feel so good about this.
No, this is totally fucked, but this is kind of like the trolley problem. If he needs to take 4 people and we absolve him and then we get nothing but saints afterwards, like how fucked would that be?
I think the 4 people was referring to us out of character.
Oh. Yeah, could be right.
Oh, like the four people was the jury, not the toll.
I guess
That seems to be the case.
It turns out that Lampshade was like broken and dying on the boat anyway, and just passed peacefully because of this.
Yeah, if he survived, like he was stuck in immortal limbo just now, imagine how much pain he was in after getting stabbed and falling 90 feet down onto a boat. Like maybe this was like the more merciful option, not letting him just be tormented for eternity.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to watch like.
I can't believe we got
Wolverine off the
objective
deck.
confirmation that Jet didn't kill Lampshade. I can't wait for when Mickey shows up later in this sequence.
It's like it's Batman logic. You didn't kill him, but
I didn't. He literally
did
was
fall off the
alive.
He was dying forever at 1 HP,
Me too.
which sounds pretty miserable.
big vibe. Samesies, bro.
you have 4.
Dr.
No, I have 2 health.
Craven Barochi. Hundreds of prisoners begrudge his heartless experimentation. One suitor begrudges his spurning of advances, and thousands of contemporaries begrudge his administrative pedantry. For this, justice demands lifelong drudgery.
Can we see what he did to Javi?
Oh, okay. So you see an array of hundreds of prisoners being experimented upon in the bowels of the labyrinthine laboratories beneath this prison, Javier Central and largest of all.
Did you just force Javier to take another sanity check, Snapper?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're playing with fire, young man.
Oh, but
my
he
God.
succeeded.
This rat might explode.
Oh, Javi, you remember those experiments, even as they tried to take your memory with so many drugs and sedatives. But you don't let it overwhelm you.
I think that
You know what happened to you.
I think that Dakota just looks over to Javi and just says, "Don't look, man. Just is this what they were doing?" The
I
entire
think
time.
Javier just doesn't even respond and just kind of hangs his head down and just closes his eyes and just tries to tune everything out.
I have no objections.
What did he
Soon,
do to Mr. Man?
ooh, you see a different image. Instead of experimentation with sedatives and procedures, you see him carefully studying and observing Mr. Man. While this may not seem as outright destructive as the other experiments, you feel the psychological toll it took on the Sabertooth as he was denied access to communication and the loved ones that he begged and pleaded to see in the many months that he was sequestered here. How it nearly broke him.
Lifetime of drudgery doesn't seem like enough. Wouldn't you agree?
Would you like to luck that over to a success?
No, that was Snapper resisting calling it out.
This man's life already is drudgery. He tortured you. Javi.
Yeah. Look, I'm not a cold-blooded killer, despite what some people think of me. Everything I've done has always been in self-defense. This guy, if he's sentenced to a life of drudgery or whatever the fuck was proposed, I don't have a problem with that. He shouldn't be in a position of power. He is not a moral person. He is not an ethical person. But if he just fucks off and lives a boring life and isn't in charge of anything ever again, that's fine. I'm not here for vengeance.
He can't be let to hurt anyone else.
You see the sentence that is proposed, and you see visions of Dr. Baroi sitting alone in a featureless white void, forced to solve increasingly frustrating captchas over the course of decades until he eventually withers and dies.
Keaton laughs out loud at the thought of that. It's absolutely hysterical to her. Clicking fire hydrants for eternity. Now that's something.
That's fucked up, actually. God damn it. I don't know. I don't know what we should do.
He hurt so many people.
Motion to accept the sentence. Keaton has a very stern look on her face. She's leaning forward now.
Snapper grits his teeth a little bit. No objection.
I can't bring myself to torture him. Earlier, the thought crossed my mind of just sending him off to the other side myself, but this is so fucked. This is so fucked up.
I think Keaton looks to Javi and says something in a low voice. A jury must be impartial. Does the second juror recuse himself?
Absolutely.
Motion to accept the sentence.
Accepted.
Accepted.
The sentence will be carried out anon. And with that, Dr. Craven Baroi fades from view.
Should have made him spend a lifetime watching his lowest rated letterboxed videos.
No, that'll make him watch good movies.
His taste is so bad it wraps around. A loophole.
Next, we discuss the fate of Willis Adler, who yet clings to life, but only just. Thousands begrudge their sacrifice at his hands. 7 begrudge the terror and dismemberment he has wrought, and 1 harbors enough contempt at his very existence to move heaven and earth. For this, justice demands ceaseless demise. And around you, you see an array of countless occurrences of Willis Adler awakening, startled as if from a dream, only to die gruesomely to one event after another, always awakening fresh, anew, to experience the same fate over and over into perpetuity.
I think Javier just kind of looks at this and goes, This is different. Something I've learned is that I at some point I'm gonna have to accept that I fucked around too much with all of this. This guy was diving in headfirst to shit he shouldn't have been messing around with. He deserves everything he has coming.
He knew what he was doing.
This man is a Jonestown level cult leader pulling some of the most heinous shit I've seen, and trust me, I've seen a lot. The internet is not a nice place. Fuck this guy.
No objections.
No objection.
No objection.
The sentence is cast.
I just have a quick question. Did we know that Melvin did Nom Nom?
Melvin didn't state it explicitly, but you know what? Give me an intelligence check to see if you noticed.
For that big sloshing
This is
belly.
me, like, trying to suss out the mechanics of what happened.
Yeah, you had some narrator voice, like looking at that sloshing gut and going, that wasn't there. So I'd say, yeah, you probably put that together.
Okay.
Next, we discuss the fate of Melvin Man.
Oh.
Melvin. What did Melvin do?
Millions begrudge his potential unfulfilled, his infinite growth stymied by abject failure. For this, justice demands unending expansion. You see images of Melvin and Jet happy together after escaping from this event. Happy at first, but growing increasingly worried through the years as Melvin continues to grow larger and larger. Impossible to hide, impossible to house, impossible to feed.
Absolutely not. I mean, I think I speak for at least a few of us here that we never really liked this guy very much, but I mean, come on. All the shit he's been through and Jet, they deserve a happy ending.
To condemn a man to the metaphorical content treadmill forever? Because he's a failure? You have to fail to succeed. I object to the sentence.
That's an easy objection here.
All right, give me a roll to persuade.
Can I roll charm?
Oh,
Wait, who's got better charm?
He like totally ate a dude.
Do you mean to do power?
Interesting.
Keaton is using she's imposing her will on here. She is very staunch about this. I mean, she's
Channeling her stubbornness.
Yeah, she's looking justice in its freaky white out eyes and saying, no, I object to this sentencing.
Then justice will hear your alternative.
Make him live in Florida.
Ouch. That's a little harsh.
I might be going down.
I think Keaton pauses for a moment. He's already disfigured. He's lost his ability to do the one thing he knows how to do. But he's not hurting anyone. I propose house arrest.
And so he will be bound.
To Jet. Bind him to Jet, his chaperone.
At that suggestion, Justice's eyes open for the first time.
Oh.
And those piercing magenta orbs survey you with a heretofore unseen level of interest. But soon they close once more, and he snaps his fingers. Justice is served.
I think Keaton has locked eyes with this thing and is not, like, she looks the most convicted she has ever looked.
And finally, the most begrudged upon our roster, Jet Adler, twice promised. One begrudges his utter failure as son and offering. Another begrudges his reticence to play his part. Two begrudge his shoddy rope work. And the countless unfathomable beyond begrudge his rejection, his refusal to fulfill the promise for which he was offered. For this, justice demands he fall.
My ears are burning.
Fall how?
The images around you all fade into a single glimpse of the coyote falling into a deep, dark void, plunged down into the other side, or perhaps even deeper below. Countless eyes surround him, judging and unraveling his being, as is their right, as was promised.
I can't think of anyone who wanted less to do with any of this stuff. Of course I object. He doesn't deserve anything.
This person was pulled into this for no reason of his own. I'll grow fucking horns before I let something happen to either of them.
All right, who wants to give me a roll?
I got a charm.
You can try it.
I would.
Oh
real
my
good charm.
god!
I told you I'm gonna roll good tonight.
What is with all your crits tonight?
I told you.
Oh my goodness! I actually did put this as an extreme difficulty, and you just rolled an extreme.
Good.
So, how are you charming the embodiment of justice to take mercy upon the twice promised?
Come on, come on. It's just, he's nice. He didn't do anything. Leave him alone. Let him go.
And
Strangely alluring.
This strangely alluring failure of a creature may speak the truth. What alternative would you propose?
Well, the Florida thing I mentioned.
I have an idea.
I'm all ears.
A postponement of sentencing. Till death do him part. You can reevaluate how you feel about him once he and Melvin live their lives. Just let them be happy for now.
Such judgment is amenable. For his sake, he had better hope that the countless grudges against him have not soured further when that date arrives.
Thrice promised then.
There's a first time for everything. And with that,
See you in Cape Escape thrice.
till you're 90, motherfucker!
Jesus Christ.
All the E's are replaced with 3s.
Cape Escape :3. And with that, justice has been served. The infinity spiraling around you begins to collapse and coalesce back into the recognizable shape of the watchtower. And as it does, Justice himself begins to fade from view.
Is it over? The pounding in my head, it's gone. I'm so dizzy.
Are we still in the hand chairs?
The hand chairs begin to wobble and then fall apart, no longer bound together by the offering, the sacrifice that they were used in.
I'm gonna just jump out and kick all that shit away.
Get off!
It's fuck.
Is everyone okay?
No.
I think Javier just walks up to the window and looks up at the sky. Do I notice anything? Where are we?
You notice what looks like a seam high up in the sky, tearing open and beginning to unfold as the stars start to return in the night sky above.
Keaton walks up to one of the computers, looking at the security cameras, and she's trying to see if the prison is changing at all, if there's any of the raptured people coming back. She's trying to figure out what's going on the ground level.
You have access to the entire prison's security system from up here. You can see all of the feeds. You don't see anyone returning in any of the cell blocks or other areas. But looking at the external feeds, you see that the waters are beginning to sink down as if low tide is coming in force. And soon the winding road that departs from Cape Mendocino rises back up above the water into view.
Fucking finally. Goddamn computers.
Guys,
I think it's stopping.
We can leave.
The road's back, he's right.
As the last traces of justice fade from view, it says, "The answer has been given." And then it's gone.
Snapper just slides down one of the walls and sits in the corner and cries.
You okay, kid?
It's all so fucked up. What? Why did we have to decide?
I think Keaton walks up to Snapper and she kind of kneels in front of him and she puts a hand on his shoulder and she says, "Sometimes life just isn't fair." But what Snapper hears is, "Sometimes life just isn't fair." Chin up, kid. We made it out. Sometimes that's all you can ask for.
Hey, kid, I think your dad would be, one, very, very pissed at you, but extremely proud of you.
Thank you. He's never gonna know about this.
So, what's the story with the ribs then?
Where's the nearest hospital?
We
Yeah,
wait,
let's.
can we just walk out of a prison? We're in prison uniforms. They're not gonna just.
There's
Hey,
no one down there.
Yeah, we can probably check for clothes of security guards that got left behind, or just check the offices. There's probably something we can find that's not this.
There's possession lockup behind the front desk. It's in the room back there. We should be able to get to it.
Maybe we should
very
get
close. You
Jet
can.
and Melvin.
Jet and Melvin, of course. Oh, I'm so stupid.
And with that, the 4 jurors leave this final courtroom and descend back down, reuniting with Jet and Melvin and soon departing from the jail entirely. As soon as they make their way outside, they are greeted with the sight of a large, unmarked black van.
Was Doreen in the lobby?
No, unfortunately. Nobody who disappeared appears to have returned.
Hashtag justice for Doreen.
Yeah, right? Where's my
Let's get on it.
prison approach? There it is. As this van approaches, you see the doors open, and out step 2 familiar figures to most of you. You see Sandals, and you see everybody's friend, Ivan.
That's why he's called that, because he's got a van.
Ivan!
You're alive,
That's
man.
definitely
Holy
his
shit.
first name. Ivan rushes up, hugging Javier and Dakota. He seems so excited. He's like, I knew you would make it out, bros. And then he turns to Dakota and he says, Ivan even brought your favorite. And he pulls out a styrofoam to-go cup with Mai Tai written on it in a Sharpie and gives it to Dakota.
Oh, thank you. Bless your heart. You could have told us something.
What?
You. How did you get out? You little scamp.
Don't worry about it. Ivan has his ways.
You've
Okay, and he's just gonna. He just chucks it.
Oh, bro, sorry. Don't think I can get another one.
Ivan, you're good at finding stuff. Before we get the
Oh,
fuck out of
absolutely.
here, whatever happened to that iPod that was confiscated from us? You know, the one that we hid for a couple weeks? Please tell me you
No.
have it.
You are lucky Ivan has not had chance to visit pawn shop. And he opens up one of the many pockets he has bulging with purloined goods and produces that very same classic iPod that the two of you shared so many nights alone.
No fucking way. Dakota, check it out.
Oh, shit. Is that the. It's
Yep.
gotta be. That thing's like 30 years old at this point.
And they still work. Is amazing technology.
They don't make them like this anymore.
As those three are catching up, a shrimpy little man with a imposing aura disembarks from the back of the van and moves past all of you.
Oh. You meant that.
Oh.
He reaches for the fanny pack that's strapped around his tail and takes out 2 claw hammers. And he says, I hope y'all left me some playmates in there. Whew, it's Carl time. And he heads on into the prison.
Oh,
Once he
What?
What just happened?
once he departs, Sandals kind of stomps over. And he has a very angry look on his face, and he's scowling down the bridge of his nose. And he walks up to Javi, and he takes a deep breath. And then he starts to cry. And he pulls Javi into a huge hug. Just says, "You have no idea how worried Maven was about you. You idiot. We were so scared. I didn't know you were here, Javi. You need to let us in. Don't ever do something like this again."
You have my fucking word. I'm so sorry, man. I shouldn't have done this to you guys. I shouldn't have done this to myself. I fucked up. I fucked up real bad.
You said you were in rehab, Javi. We thought this was going to be something good for you.
I never told you, but one time when I ran out of my stuff, I fucking tunneled through the other side and teleported. I realized then that when I was clean, I had better control of my powers. But going to rehab wasn't really going to rehab if I was just chasing that other high, you know?
I know. Everything is going to be okay. I promise I will do everything I can for you. We have your back, Javi. I promise. And then he just hugs him.
I hug him back and I just say, thank you. I know you don't know this guy here at all, but if he needs any legal help, please get him the best lawyers you possibly can, as I point towards Dakota.
Hi, I'm Dakota.
Hi, it's a pleasure.
It's a long story. He teleported some people to the other side by accident, but he's innocent, really.
I don't care about that, Javi. We can work that out later. Is he a friend of yours?
Yes.
Then he's a friend of mine. It's a pleasure to meet you, Dakota. I'm Sandals.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, I've seen the face. Just, wow. Huh. Shake your hand.
Yeah, and Sandals just shakes it and smiles and then wipes a tear out of his eyes and then looks at Keaton and goes, "Who's this? I don't recognize her." And I think to that, Keaton just goes, "Of course you wouldn't. You've always been a fucking idiot." And then she just walks off into the van.
Straight and to the point. We love that about her.
It's been a long day.
As Keaton gets into the van, a second unmarked black van rolls up just in time for Melvin to pass that front threshold, carrying the wounded Jet in his arms.
We've prepared a second van that's modified. It should fit Melvin and Jet. So the rest of you, get in the van with Ivan. We'll take you somewhere where you can get taken care of. But first I have a conversation to have with them in private, if you will.
I think, like, if it'll, like, drape an arm over Ivan's, like, hey, can we go get McDonald's? I'm really hungry.
Oh, bro, that would really hit the spot right now, but only have Denny's in this town is atrocious.
California sucks.
Yes. You know what? We go down to California proper, we get some In-N-Out. Oh.
Before getting in the van, Sniper walks up to Melvin because he never had a chance to say anything to him. He's like, I know it's been a really rough day, but it would mean the world to me if you would read this when this is all over. And he pulls a little letter in an envelope out of his bag and hands it to Melvin as best he can.
Melvin seems surprised by this at first, taken aback a little, but he sighs and nods his head, understanding how important this must be.
Thank you. And wanders back over to the van, still holding his side.
Kid stole my hat.
You look better without it.
Oh, now you tell me.
I like it when I get to see your eyes.
I don't want to cut your moment short.
Where the
gentlemen.
fuck have you been?
I've been doing my best, and I know you're gonna hate to hear this, but Melvin can vouch for it. I didn't want to meddle with your life, Jet. I did everything I could to keep you safe and to keep you cared for. Isn't that right, Melvin?
Yeah.
I own Melvin's company. I'm the one who's been paying your mortgage. I've been the one who's been paying your health insurance. I was the one who got your movie greenlit, your comic published, because Melvin made me swear to keep you safe. I don't want to fuck your life up more than I already have, Jet. I'm sorry for what happened, but I'm going to make it right. And this is where you come in. There's a cure. We can undo all of this. And it's your right to choose. If you want to come with me, Melvin will be cared for. He will be kept safe. I have made sure of that. But he is in danger now, and he cannot be seen. There's a facility. It has resources. It can help him. And I mean really help him, Jet. Not some twisted, fucked up version of help. Not this shit. And he points at the prison. And they can help you too. So you can come with me and help find a cure. Or you can go with Melvin. And no one will blame you. Do you understand, Jet? I will do everything I can for you to make this right. I swear it.
You feel Melvin's grip on you tighten. He's unsteady, unsure, but he wants you to make this decision.
What, like some kind of elite squad? Because I've got so many marketable skills. You know what I did in there? I got lost and I swung a stick around. I'm pretty sure you could find a guy.
Jet, a long time ago, I told you to play your part. It's time for me to play mine. I spent this whole time worried that all of you had gotten killed in there, while I was stuck, locked outside, sitting on my thumbs like a fucking idiot. I was played, Jet. I'm not as smart as I thought I was. You were right about me. And I'm going to make that up to you. I promise. Now, it's been 7 years. I think you've earned a little bit of alone time with your husband. Goodbye, Jet. I don't think I'll be seeing you again. And Sandals turns to go into his van with the rest of them.
Melvin sniffles. He knows what Jet must be giving up in order to be with him. And he cherishes whatever amount of time he gets to spend with you.
No more promises. No more waiting. We did this twice. I'm out. I'm gonna go home and fuck my husband.
And we pull out from Cape Mendocino. The events of this terrible night almost at an end, as the two black vans pull away, traveling down that winding road. Sandals gets a call on his phone.
I think Sandals goes, he reaches. It's not Maven's ringtone. This is business. And he picks it up. Yeah. Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah. Yes. Senior authorization is granted. Make sure anyone remaining is comfortable. Thank you for your hard work. And he clicks the phone closed. He has one of those folding phones.
Moments later, a deafening explosion sounds out from the Cape as the prison and the precarious ledge it is perched upon are detonated and fall into the sea. Goodbye, Cape Mendocino. It was a time.
Where's Dakota?
On the fucking other side still.
Yeah, it's on the other side.
Apparently.
It's hard to tell you. Oh.
So actually, you should be thanking Jet for everything you retrieved from the boat, because that's your only chance to have any of it.
Because that's all you got left now.
The extremely cursed image of everyone piling into this van with like a katana on their back and like a bunch of rope gear and shit.
Did
It's
Carl
posh rope.
Did Carl get back out of there before we blew it up? Before it got blown up?
I think he was the one detonating.
He was probably the
it.
one the one calling too.
Okay.
So, we made sure Carl's safe. That's good. On a distant beach, a pair of Moscow mules are served to a couple who managed to sleep right through the incident at Cape Mendocino. Now, on their vacation, enjoying it thoroughly in the balmy beach air. Crimson, the janitor whose identity was stolen for Keaton's infiltration into the prison.
God damn it.
And Bruce,
Oh.
the bouncer who was
Dibs.
used to catfish him out of that identity. They
He's not very
enjoy
smart.
their time together.
If you want to learn more about the definitely straight Bruce, you can subscribe to the Patreon and read the short story about catfishing Crimson.
Are you seeing the same shorts I'm seeing?
That man is 8 feet tall.
He's very big.
Yes. Oh. Snapper managed to make it home after that very eventful evening. He found his dad waiting up for him after a long, sleepless night. He didn't have to say a thing. The elder Slycrest knew from just one look what sort of horrors his son had been through and what he needed most right now.
Thanks, Dad.
The two now share a bond. Though their trauma is not identical, it is something that only they can understand. And it will take some time to heal from what they have suffered.
About 6 weeks.
In the months after the events at Cape Mendocino, Sandals ends up putting a team together. One that will shine a light on the darkness that lurks underneath it all. All of you would make welcome additions, but that's a decision you each need to make for yourselves. Javi, are you in?
I don't know. I thought I wanted more of this, but when I lost my memory back there and it came flooding back, I was so disappointed in myself. I'm not cut out for this. I keep messing around with this shit and I get lost in these cosmic horror situations. I'm having to kill people to stay alive. No matter what promises Sandals can try to make, you know, it has nothing to do with the quality of his word. There's some things that are just out of his control, out of all of our control. I think the best I can do is just move on from this.
An incredibly prudent decision. What about Keaton? Sandals could always use a guy in the chair.
I think, and if Illusory says he would, as Sandals is trying to convince Illusory to come, I think he probably introduces him to Keaton officially.
Ooh.
Right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, Javier would completely vouch for Keaton.
Yeah. And I think she is interested in the job. She's gotten her first taste of horror. And she knows that those who go into it unprepared are swept up in it. People like Javi are hurt. People like Jet and Melvin are hurt. And it's unfair to put that on people who don't know what they're getting into. And she's worked for Sandals before. He might be an asshole, but he's the best boss she's ever had. Keaton's in.
She knows what buttons to push. That makes it enjoyable. Now, how about Dakota? This is an interesting opportunity. It's a job that pays well and answers some burning questions about what really is going on the other side. But is it worth it?
So first and foremost, one of the main stipulations is I'm clear of blame in this incident that has led up to this, right?
You are legally dead.
Oh.
That's what happens when a prison you're interred in explodes, Dakota. I don't know how to make it more clear to you than it already is.
So wait, that means I can't... Wait. So I can't be on TikTok anymore?
Not for now, but maybe after this is all over, we can set you up with a pension.
Have you considered blue hair?
Get you a new identity.
Man, it was just getting good. I had all those followers from the.
Javier would beg Dakota to not get involved.
Where's Javi now?
Yeah, are we in the same room? Or is this kind of?
You're probably together when Sandals is giving you this ultimatum, when he's trying to sell you on the deal. Yeah, definitely something you can discuss with each other.
Dakota, you saw what happened to me. I mean, I don't want the same thing happening to you. Please don't accept this.
Oh,
I need people
Dax,
I can.
I'm conflicted.
I need people I can trust. And if Javi isn't up for it, but he vouched for you, we need specialists. You could help people like Javi. We have the resources now. I won't let what happened to us happen to you. But Javier, we have a responsibility. And no one is mad that you are staying out of this. I'm happy. This is all I've wanted for a long time. This is all Maven wanted.
I think at this point, Dakota has procured a coin. No one knows for where. And is just looking at Sandals. Called in the air.
Heads. Javi always takes tails.
Sorry to
Tails
say.
it is.
I'm out.
Thank God.
And lastly, Snapper. Is there any desire to keep going, to follow the burning wire to whatever it leads you to? Or are you content to write this off as a one-off misadventure, much like your dad did all those years ago?
You got fire in your eyes, kid. I can see it.
Despite how poorly it went for him right off the bat, he has a burning interest, a need to understand more that goes well beyond the confines of this one prison, this one other side experience. And he's also got no freaking direction in his life otherwise. Of course. Yeah, this is what I'm built to do.
All right. Well, when we walk out of this diner, we will head somewhere. Your parents will be taken care of. They will not know what is going on, but you will be kept safe. We will rest for tonight, and then you will train for a week. And then we will pack. We have reservations at the Central Alpine Palatial Estate. It's a hotel up in northern Washington in the Cascades. Pack your best flannel. I hear it's going to be rainy.
If Dakota has new Dakota too, I think that what it looks like is that like he's scrolling through his phone, checking out the comments on his new cooking video that he's uploaded, and a lot of the comments are just like, wait, is this the fucking guy that made all those people disappear? And it's like just a really shitty cooking video. It's just terrible. It's the worst fucking thing you've ever seen, but it's getting a lot of traction. And then he's like scrolling through his phone. He sees the comments like, didn't this guy used to do magic? Puts his phone down, and there's a deck of cards sitting on like the table stand next to the couch on his brand new boat. It's a lot nicer than the one he had previously. And starts rifling through the cards, and he reaches the red ace. It has grown an eye. The eye is now staring at him intently as he looks directly at the card. He just kind of shuffles the deck, puts it back in the case, and shoves it into the drawer and forgets about magic for a bit.
It's probably very smart of him.
It's probably fine.
It's probably nothing.
It's probably nothing.
Next time he goes to log into TikTok or whatever, his account is banned yet again, as Sandals and his corporation have actively been
got too big,
ban hammering every single one of his sock puppets, and Dakota just keeps making more of them. It's like playing whack-a-mole.
The thing is, like, he keeps logging in with an alias, so it's like Dakota +3 at gmail.com.
Yep.
We take a look at a secluded bunker. Melvin Mann sits in the dark, flipping through channels on the television, nestled down in a big pile of blankets. It's spooky month, so there's horror movies aplenty to be had on TV. Those always entice him, but he can never stand to watch them by himself. He takes a deep breath. He just has to wait for that cure that Sandals promised, to bring an end to all of this. He's been waiting 7 years already. What's a little bit more? But at least now, he doesn't have to wait by himself. Jet's here to hold his hand through all the scary movies and the nightmares. In this secluded bunker beneath the ruins of Cape Karma, dead to the outside world. They only have each other here. In sickness and in health, for better or for worse. Gay husbands. And Melvin finally has time to himself to read that letter that was imparted to him by Snapper as they exited from Cape Mendocino. And Marty, you want to read that for us?
Sure. Dear Melvin, I can't believe that today's finally the day. You get to make your mark back in the world. You've been my hero for as long as I can remember, and the friend from afar that I wish that I could really know in some way, other than 100-hour challenge videos. When you disappeared from the world so many years ago, I knew that you couldn't have been at fault for all that went wrong. I never stopped believing in you. Your light in this world is so much brighter than any of that darkness that has surrounded you. I want you to know that whatever happened, I still believe in you. And even if this has changed you, you will still have a lifelong fan. Love, Snapper.
Oh.
Melvin tears up as he rereads through that letter for the 100th time. And he clutches his husband close to his chest. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Cape Escape Season 2. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm a stress toy now.
And thank you to Sage for that wonderful finale track.
That was fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
We did it. We got it
Yeah.
out. We got out. I'm so
Oh my
excited.
God. You guys did amazing.
We escaped the Cape.
It exploded.